I blamed me, and then I felt really sad that humans can be that way. And then my heart went into I don't deserve love.
Cesar Millan was the charismatic figure who transformed unruly dogs into well-behaved companions with seemingly magical abilities. As the dog whisperer, his National Geographic show captivated audiences for nearly a decade, making him one of the most recognizable faces in pet training. But behind the confident, calm demeanor that taught countless owners to become pack leaders was a man fighting his own intense personal battles. Today, we explore Cesar Millan's shocking journey after divorce, a story of betrayal, loss, and ultimately redemption. I didn't feel rage first, Cesar revealed in a rare emotional interview. I blamed myself, and then I felt really sad that humans could be that way. These raw words offered just a glimpse into the depths of despair that nearly claimed the life of television's beloved dog trainer, a man who, ironically, had helped so many find balance but struggled to maintain his own. Part 1: The Rise Before the Fall. Before understanding Caesar's darkest chapter, we must first understand his remarkable rise. Born in rural Mexico in poverty, Caesar crossed the border with just $100 in his pocket and a dream. His early days in America weren't easy. I took my first shower in America in a bathtub for dogs, Caesar revealed in a recent interview. When I was homeless, I worked at a grooming shop, and when the ladies found out I had nowhere to go, they let me stay there. Yet, despite these hardships, Caesar maintained an extraordinary perspective. Surviving in the streets is easy, he explained. It's just me, a 21-year-old kid with a dream. I knew how to figure it out because I came from Sinaloa. If I could survive that, his positive outlook came from perspective. I have an advantage over people born in America because I was born in Mexico, where crime is big. Any place in America is 1,000 times safer. Once you feel safe, you find fun in things. What others might view as hardship, Caesar saw differently. Oh yeah, people will consider that a struggle. I saw myself more like a backpacker, and that was a hostel, he laughed. The bathtub was better than many showers I've seen in other parts of the world. This ability to reframe difficult situations became one of Caesar's greatest strengths. If you know people that are having a hard time being grateful, especially if we are here in America, just go to other countries. Take a week, take 2 weeks, and just go to see the happiness and poverty, he advised. That's when you look at that, it's all relative. This resilience and unique approach to dogs soon caught Hollywood's attention. Within years, the dog whisperer became a global phenomenon, and Caesar built a multimedia empire around his philosophy of calm, assertive energy. His techniques resonated with millions struggling with unmanageable pets, as he demonstrated an almost supernatural ability to communicate with troubled animals. Part 2: The Perfect Storm. Divorce, business, betrayal, and loss. At the height of his fame, Caesar seemed to have it all: international recognition, financial success, and a seemingly happy family life. But behind the scenes, everything was unraveling simultaneously. First came the divorce. While Caesar has been private about the specific details, the end of his marriage took a significant emotional toll at a time when he needed support most. Ironically, the man who had helped countless families restore harmony in their homes found himself unable to salvage his own domestic tranquility. The contrast between his public persona as a relationship expert, albeit with dogs, and his private struggles created additional layers of pain and self-doubt. Then came a devastating business betrayal that shocked him to his core. After pouring a decade of his life into building the dog whisperer brand, Caesar discovered that his business partners were maneuvering to take control of his empire, including rights to his name, the very title that made him famous. This is when I learned about Hollywood and the legal way to be dishonest. Caesar revealed it was about ownership. I was supposed to be 50-50, but when it was time to honor that, they said it wasn't. On paper, I'm a man of my word and I was playing the game, but legally they were not playing it, and spiritually it was obviously not. The betrayal was especially painful because of the decade-long relationship. When it's a relationship of 10 years, and their children, everything becomes personal. I assumed honest integrity and loyalty was a given. The result was devastating. Not only did Caesar lose control of significant revenue streams, but incredibly, he nearly lost the rights to his own name. They didn't just want to have this, they also wanted to have that. But that doesn't belong to you, he explained, still in disbelief. Years later, Caesar had always prided himself on operating with integrity and honoring verbal agreements. In the world of dogs, communication is clear and straightforward. There are no hidden agendas. The discovery that human relationships could operate with such duplicity shook his faith in people, and in his own judgment. Struggles begin when I try to play a mature game, such as being married, being in a relationship, being a businessman. He reflected, and meeting more people who were not in the moral code of honesty and loyalty. That's the struggle. Surviving in the streets is easy because it's just me. Part 3. The darkest moment. The combined weight of personal and professional loss created a perfect storm that drove Cesar to his breaking point. In a shocking revelation that stunned fans, Cesar admitted that he attempted suicide. I didn't feel rage first, and I didn't even feel rage towards them. I felt rage towards me, Cesar confessed. I blamed myself, and then I felt really sad that humans could be that way. Why would they break the moral code? That's something no animal would ever break. The spiral continued as his emotions overwhelmed him. My spirit got really sad, and then my instinct went into a rage. Then my heart went into feeling I don't deserve love, and then my mind said, well, if you can't hurt them, hurt yourself. If you can't kill them, kill yourself. This cultural imprint from his upbringing in Sinaloa, where vengeance was sometimes seen as the only response to betrayal, nearly cost him everything. It was my cultural belief, he explained solemnly. That belief that vengeance was the only answer to betrayal was something he carried from his culture, and it nearly ended his life. The psychological impact of betrayal ran deeper than most realized. For a man who had built his career on understanding and respecting the natural order, the human capacity for deception seemed particularly painful to accept. Animals operate with clear intentions. They never pretend to be something they're not. But humans, Cesar discovered, could smile while harboring malicious intent. Amid this crisis, Cesar's physical health deteriorated alongside his mental state. His weight dropped dramatically to just 102 pounds. He began abusing substances, taking up to 12 Vicodin pills daily and mixing Red Bull with vodka. His addiction spiraled out of control. The man who had once been a picture of balanced energy was now completely unbalanced. The irony wasn't lost on Cesar. He who had taught millions to achieve calm, assertive energy couldn't find calm within himself. The principles he taught to dog owners around the world about proper energy and mindset now seem impossible to apply to his own life. Part 4. The impact on family. The consequences of Cesar's breakdown extended far beyond himself. Perhaps most painful was the separation from his 3 children at a time when family connection was essential. His struggle with addiction didn't just hurt him. It deeply affected his relationships with his children. Things became so strained that Cesar and his children stopped speaking for 3 years. His youngest daughter later described the terrifying experience, saying it felt like her father had become a different person, like a monster. She began to fear the unpredictable changes in his energy, something Cesar himself had taught others to manage in their pets. The constant uncertainty about which version of her father would appear created a state of hypervigilance as she watched for subtle shifts that signaled his emotional state was deteriorating. For years, the family remained fractured, missing important milestones in each other's lives. The pain of this separation only deepened Cesar's emotional crisis. Part 5. The healing journey. By 2012, the emotional and physical toll had become unbearable. Cesar's health had deteriorated dramatically, and those close to him recognized that without intervention, the consequences could be fatal. In September 2012, he finally entered rehab at Cirque Lodge, a luxury center in Utah. Though costly at $150,000 per month, it was a necessary step toward recovery that would ultimately save his life. But true healing required more than just sobriety. It demanded a complete recalibration of his outlook on business relationships and self-worth. The man who had spent his career teaching others to maintain balanced energy now had to apply those principles to his own life in the most challenging circumstances. When you face true challenges, Cesar reflected, they either destroy you or refine you. They sharpen your awareness of what truly matters. Most crucially, Cesar refused to become bitter, a choice that many in his position would find impossible. Taking your money is one thing, but taking your energy is another thing, and that you give to them. Thank God I didn't give that energy away. Music shifts to a more hopeful tone. And then came the moment everything began to shift. Cesar began to apply the very principles he had taught about dog rehabilitation to his own recovery. Just as he had always emphasized that dog owners must achieve a calm, balanced state before attempting to correct their pet's behavior, he now focused on restoring his own internal balance before trying to rebuild his external world. The healing extended to his family relationships as well. The process of reconciliation began on November 12, 2015, when his youngest daughter, who had just completed her own rehab for substance abuse and an eating disorder, reached out to him, the first contact in nearly 3 years. Rebuilding these bonds wasn't easy. It required extensive therapy and family counseling over 18 months. A significant breakthrough came in 2017 when they spent a week together at a retreat in Arizona, meditating and performing exercises to heal emotionally. Throughout this process, Cesar had to confront how his struggles had affected those he loved most. Just as he had taught dog owners to take responsibility for their pets' behavior, he now had to take full responsibility for the impact of his actions on his family. This required a level of humility and vulnerability that went beyond anything he had previously experienced. Part 6. The Public Response. When news of Cesar's struggles eventually became public, the outpouring of support was overwhelming. Fans who had benefited from his dog training techniques for years rallied around him with messages of love and encouragement. One fan wrote, "I feel anger at the thought of anyone ripping Cesar off, stressing him out, and leaving him feeling hopeless. Bounce back, Cesar, stronger than ever, and know you are admired and beloved by so many. Fresh start. Phoenix from the ashes." Another commented, "Cesar Millan will always be the dog whisperer in my eyes. I would never say anything negative about this guy. As a dog groomer myself, everything he says resonates with what I've learned on my own about people and their pets. He has integrity, but healing takes time, and sometimes the most powerful medicine comes from unexpected places." For Cesar, the personal stories from fans became a source of strength and purpose during his darkest days. The personal stories were particularly moving. One woman shared, "I met Cesar while visiting family in the UK during the Olympics. I was filming something on the street and we recognized him. We all took photos with him. I was in a bad place in life, struggling inside, and when we said bye to him while walking off, he screamed, 'Smile, girl.' To me, I will never forget that. It felt like he really saw me even though we spoke only for minutes." Others recounted moments that revealed his character away from cameras. "We saw Cesar shopping in a store. I stood in the back and watched him. He was so kind and very respectful to everyone regardless of what they looked like. He secretly paid for someone who couldn't afford their bill. He did it very quietly and did not want the person to know. We saw it and didn't say a word. He is a true gentleman, full of class." For some, Cesar's influence went beyond pet training to life transformation. "I grew up running from neighborhood dogs. Therefore, I hated dogs and thought they were brainless animals. I happened to watch his episodes and was amazed. I got a puppy Rottweiler and a puppy English Bulldog. I used Cesar's methods and trained myself first. I realized how beautiful and intelligent dogs are. We became a disciplined pack. I learned how they think. It completely changed my life, and I owe him a lot for it." Perhaps most poignantly, his vulnerability about mental health struggles resonated deeply with those fighting similar battles. "I've battled suicidality myself. Seeing another man I admire talk about his struggles means a lot. Thank you." These testimonials affirmed what many had always sensed, that Cesar's ability to connect went far beyond dogs to touch human hearts as well, and that his authenticity in sharing his darkest moments provided healing not just for himself, but for countless others facing similar struggles. Part 7. The Comeback and New Perspective. Today, Cesar Millan has rebuilt his life and career on his own terms. Though the journey was arduous, he emerged with newfound wisdom about business relationships and his own worth. "I had to reconnect with who I am," Cesar explained. "The challenges forced me to rediscover my core values and rebuild from there. What I found was that even after losing so much, my identity remained intact." Throughout his recovery, Cesar learned that material possessions and even professional titles could be taken away. But his authentic self, the connection to his instincts and spirit that made him effective with dogs in the first place, remained unshakable. His resilience inspired those going through similar struggles. As one fan wrote, "I'm at the lowest point mentally than I have been in my entire life. I've been watching Cesar since he was on public television. To see him going through like this instantly ignited my mental issues, but seeing him come out of it stronger has genuinely given me the courage to go on, not just for my dog, but for myself." Cesar's approach to relationships has also evolved dramatically. Like many who have weathered profound personal storms, we come to understand that the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. This philosophy of self-reliance, focusing on personal growth and happiness without needing external validation to feel complete, has become central to Cesar's new outlook on life. Conclusion. The lesson for all: Cesar Millan's journey from the depths of despair to renewed purpose carries important lessons for everyone. It reminds us that even those who appear most confident and successful face their own battles behind closed doors. More importantly, it demonstrates the incredible resilience of the human spirit when we refuse to let betrayal and loss define us. As Caesar wisely noted, you learn to be either the warrior or the victim. The principles that made Caesar effective with dogs, maintaining calm, assertive energy, living in the present moment, and establishing clear boundaries, became the very tools he needed to rebuild his own life. In essence, the teacher became his own student, applying the wisdom he had shared with millions to heal himself. This full-circle journey reveals a profound truth. The insights we offer others often hold the very medicine we need ourselves. Caesar's story isn't just about a dog trainer who lost his way. It's about a human being who rediscovered that the fundamental principles of balance, boundaries, and authentic living apply as much to people as they do to animals. One fan perhaps summed it up best. It's a cruel world for an empath to navigate. Yet navigate it Caesar did, finding his way back to the light and inspiring others to do the same. The dog whisperer chose to be a warrior, not just for dogs, but for himself. As one fan wrote with simple eloquence, Caesar is and will always be the dog whisperer. No company, lawyer, or butthole will ever take that away. Caesar, stay strong, the world's with you. Through his remarkable journey of loss, betrayal, despair, and ultimately renewal, Cesar Millan has proven that the principles he taught about dogs, calm assertive energy, living in the moment, and pack leadership, apply equally to the human journey of overcoming life's most devastating challenges. Perhaps the greatest lesson from Caesar's story is that true strength isn't found in never falling, but in rising every time we fall, and helping others rise alongside us. As he continues his work with both animals and people, Cesar Millan stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the healing power of purpose.